All right, this is my first time doing this, and I just want to share my experiences that I've had with paranormal, supernatural, whatever you want to call it, shadowy people, entities, hatman, any of that. And the reason why I want to do this is because for so much of my life, I have been plagued by the constant fear of this, whether it be terrified of sleeping alone or, you know, like asking the people that know me or many that have dated me, I sleep covered up with a blanket, and it's in Texas. It could be 100 degrees out in the summer, and I've got the blanket over my head. I'm wake up and just profusely sweating all over the place. My temperature is through the roof. It's difficult, and I feel like I need to share something because it's ruining my relationship. It's ruining how I interact and deal with things. So, my first instance of dealing with shadowy people or entities or hatman happened when I was about, I want to say about 5 or 6 years old. And I remember it because the hand, this is how I know I'll never forget it. The hand that the creature was touching me with felt like it was like reminiscent of the hamburger helper hand. I don't know if you all remember that. It used to just be a big hamburger helper hand, but this was all shadowy and black. But that hand creature thing, it used to physically touch me, and I guess you can, as at this age, and I have to say, it's sodomizing. And I would wake up and my ass would hurt, but it would intensely hurt, like that, and the insides of me would hurt. And still to this day, when that happens, I feel the same way. I wake up, I feel violated. I feel sick to my stomach, and it's horrible. And another thing that I've noticed too about this one particular hatman or boss guy, as I've come to, I'm going to come up with my own best explanation that I can, and from what I've gathered, he seems like he could be a boss of some sort. So I have seen people in my dreams collectively. It's like we fight in our dreams, like throughout the years. It's like constantly seeing the same individuals over and over, and I'm like, wow, what are we doing in our sleep? Do we know each other? Are we connected? But anyway, through those connected people, we have many of times attempted to fight that shadowy creature, and it does not do us any good. I mean, the moment I go to, let's just say you go to put a hand on him, I immediately wake up with intense pain, like all over me and whatnot. As I've said, I don't know what this thing or this entity is, but what I do know is I don't know how other people feel about doors in their dreams, but I've always been reluctant about opening certain doors because that's how I got in trouble with these creatures in the first place, was by opening doors in my dreams, in my sleep. So now I have tons of dreams and years worth of this happening, of having dreams of there's doors. Like, think of it almost like the Matrix, where he goes into there and there's just a row of doors. But they could go to anywhere, and out of that door randomly sometimes comes that freaking huge creature. And that's it. And then I wake up. But the thing I don't get is, how can I wake up and still have the sensation of pain and have the sensation of being violated still there, even moments, minutes, hours after waking up? Like, it's supposed to go away, or at least that's what I thought. It's supposed to go away. Oh dear. No, that's my take on that. And some of the other dreams that I used to have that were really intense were water dreams, falling off of bridges, being in the middle of the ocean, and I don't so much have those anymore after coming to terms with myself and understanding the innate sensitivity that I have, and understanding really what my purpose is and not running from my issues. I don't have those problems. And another thing, just sharing this, I'd say almost about a year and a half ago, while I was going through a tumultuous breakup situation, rumors, all of that stuff, a creature came to me. It could have been reptilian in nature, and it was like, I'm going to show you how to use the light to not be afraid of the darkness, which was incredibly strange, because I was thinking it's supposed to be an evil entity or whatnot, but yet its purpose was showing me how to use my soul to light up the path of darkness wherever you may go. And since doing that, I don't have a lot of problems with certain things. I don't get so much harassed as much by these entities. More so, they're showing up, they're visiting, and I can see them tied to other people, right along with seeing the colors emanating off of people, energies and colors, and it's just, everything is happening so differently. I don't even know how do I go back to, I was like, yeah, oh, I like street racing, yeah, I like Marvel, DC, comics and all that. How you go back to, I don't even, man, when you see things like this, and then you keep seeing it, and then it keeps being there, and it's not going anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to go back to my normal, well, I guess that's maybe because life wasn't so normal in the first place, but I don't know what to do in that sense. It's very, very difficult trying to piece this together here. Dear. Another thing too, I'm starting to see how these entities affect the people, and they absorb around them, and the more niceness, and I've had people who've seen this, like, well, the nicer you get, the more angrier and resentful, and people start to become to you. Like, these things, they take a hold of people. I don't know if this is the stuff that possesses people, or if that's how they become a medium or possessed, but I know it gets its root on people, and it exacerbates their particular problems. Like, it doesn't exacerbate happiness. Like, it doesn't get in you and you're like, man, I'm gonna go out there and spread love to everybody. No, I've seen it. It gets into people, and it takes a problem that they have with a person, an individual, an item, and it magnifies it exponentially. Like, I've watched it, like, oh, this is a little problem here, and people shouldn't be upset, and then that creature's around, and then people their heads are exploding with so much anger and so much rage, and then just so much confusion and not knowing what to do, because that they feed off of that anger, they feed off of that negative energy. And the more positive I am, the more it upsets them, the more they want to go away, the more they want to pick at me. So I see them quite a bit, and I also, golly gee willikers, I was talking to my mother about this. Apparently, I'm seeing my deceased grandmother and grandfather and communicating with them as well. Oh dear, it's a lot that's been going on, and oh boy, if there was ever a time when you needed somebody, if you needed a friend or anything, right? Because this is yeah, it can be pretty heavy. I'm not even gonna lie about that. It just, like last night, being afraid to sleep is starting to take its toll on me. I don't know if I'm getting an adequate amount of sleep, and then having the lights on. And another odd thing that I want to say is, now, since coming down here, I've had cats. Okay, and I usually find them. But this one particular cat, my little baby Tigress, and if you don't know who Tigress is, look up DC Comics, Tigress, aka Artemis, aka Speedy. Please, look it up. She's so awesome. Okay, so my little kitty, bless her heart, since all of this has been happening, has just been profusely following me around. Profusely following me around. Everywhere. And this cat was always independent. She found her way into my life. That's how it was. And that's how I found her when she was a kitten. One day I was out there washing my clothes about 3 years ago, because that's how long I've had her. And she was about 3 or 4 weeks old, and she just kept meowing and meowing and meowing, and then she followed me, and then that was it. She followed me home, and I started feeding her and taking care of her. And so she's always been, like her and Alcamar, they've always been my little preciouses. But this cat stays vigilant. I wake up, and there the cat is staring off into the corner, just there, just meowing and whatnot. And I know I've heard of Egyptians and how people, animals and what they can do, and so on and so forth. Totally aware of that. But the fact that my cat thinks it's her job is to protect me and follow me everywhere I go is just beyond cute. And it warms my heart. I'm not even gonna lie, it really, really genuinely warms my heart. Like they won't. Like, for example, last night, my lady, she slept in the room, and then she closed the door. So the cat has to go into the room to get into the bathroom. So I feel the cat like, hey, I gotta go. It's okay. Let me put her in there so she can go, and I close the door. And then all I hear is, this cat is like, she's trying to get out of the bedroom. Okay, I let her out there, runs right over, sits back in her spot, and stares off into the corner. It's crazy. She really warms my heart. I will admit that. I don't know what she's seeing, to be honest. It does concern me. I can't admit that. Oh, it does definitely concern me. I just don't know what to make out of it, so I just figure the most that I can do is share my story and share my dreams. So as of all of this happening, or basically as of my mother having a spiritual epiphany, and I found out about my mother is incredibly spiritual in some of the things that she's done and dabbled in it and so on and so forth. Just to get a call from your mother when you're feeling bad. I don't know, I'll tell you something I have to share. 2 days ago, something came into my place, and Jeanette, she saw it. We were in mid-conversation. I tried to explain this to my lady, and the first thing she could go is, well, when I was sick and hurt, and I fall over, where were you at? Where was I at? I don't know. Lost, confused, not knowing what's going on. So, I fell out. I don't know what caused it. I'm in the middle of a conversation with this woman. I fall out onto the floor with some of the most intense nausea I've ever experienced in my life. We're talking about, the first thing I'm like is, please, what are you? What are you doing to me? And I start saying this for 10 to 15 minutes straight. What are you? This is too much energy. Please, this is too much energy. For that whole day, and then the next day, I was sick. I threw up on the hour, every hour. I couldn't have water, couldn't have anything. My temperature shot through the roof, over 102 degrees. Chilling, freezing. I mean, when I say freezing cold, I meant like freezing cold. And I know the difference between I'm cold because I'm cold, and I know presence cold. Because presence cold, there's no emotion there. There's nothing for me as an infj to pick up on other than somber and despair. So it bothered me significantly, as I'm sure it would anybody. know what I felt? And at first, it didn't feel tormentingly terrifying, which is why the first thing that came to my mind was, hey, there are better ways to try to communicate with me other than trying to overload me with so much emotionalness at one time that I don't know what to do, and then I feel sick throughout the whole day trying to make sense out of this. Dear. In my life, I think the roughest thing about going through this is that the one person that you want to share this with, to talk about, because I can see that they're intertwined in it, and when you hear the things that this person, and I'm not talking about my significant other, I'm talking about the creature is saying about the people that you care about, or what they're going to do to them and whatnot, and then you can see the effects of it actually happen, is beyond scary. And scarier is that when you try to bring up these things, nobody wants to hear it. And I'm talking about the things that these people, excuse me, let me back that up. The things that these entities, or the people that the entities are after, are not evil people to where they would be skeptical. A lot of them are very, very biblically sound people. And yet, for the love of God, they cannot believe that things are out there that are feeding off of them and that are contributing towards producing and exacerbating anger and difficult times in their life, and that these creatures, I don't know if it's magic or if it's highly advanced science that they use that allows them to negate the laws of physics, the laws of thermodynamics. Obviously, you're teleporting in and out, you're moving around at the speed of light and all of that, and non-corporeal body. So that I have to rethink quantum physics and all of that stuff. So clearly, they're working on a magnitude that we cannot even comprehend as of yet. So why is it so far-fetched? How do you believe in the Bible, basic information before leaving Earth, and yet it's so far-fetched to believe that there are entities out there? Well, I mean, as God said, He tried to destroy them, but He couldn't destroy them themselves. He could destroy the body, but He couldn't destroy the soul. I mean, isn't that what hell is supposed to be for on Judgment Day? So if according to what we're believing, then we would have a bunch of non-corporeal beings, whether they be Anunnaki, fallen angels, whichever you may want to call them, that would just be non-corporeal based creatures that would just be floating around, you know? So I don't think it's far-fetched to believe that they, like psychic vampire, they're feeding off of you. And it's sad because the more you try to bring this up to people, I'm talking about with concrete evidence, I'm talking about with Bible passages. I don't just sit down and go, well, this is blah, 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 blah. I come with evidence. And when you try to present an actual sound-based case, it's like they don't want to hear it. And that to me is one of the greatest problems that these things do, is that when these spirit entities latch into people, they know the insides and outs and the psyche of the mind so well. They know how to latch in into such a way to where you then start looking at the people who want to help as issues. You then start being like, well, fuck you and your problems. And like, it's very, very heavy. And I hope that everybody else that's going through this out there, man, I hope they find their way, and I hope they find their path. And this isn't exactly the kind of energy I want to go into work with, but this is the kind of energy that I've had to live my whole life with, that I've had to go through relationship after relationship with, seeing things pop out of people, seeing colors around people, knowing situations. And the funny thing is that ask any of the closest friends to me that know me, I cannot be snuck upon. I feel people coming a mile away. I feel people's presence. I feel people's energy. Like one time I was with Jeanette, like my best friend, and we were at a pizza place. Somebody came in, and it just broke me out into hives all over, and I got so terrified, and I had to leave the place, and everywhere, just. Or another time, I was at a rock concert. And last time I went to a rock concert, I was with my cousin Rodney. I was with Shannon, and during the last part of the concert, this guy, I think he might have been from My Chemical Romance, and he starts going up there as a preacher. He's like, "Are y'all ready to receive this sermon of music from me? Are y'all ready?" And he starts going into preacher mode, and as he does, my face starts hurting, nose bleeding, all of that. They literally have to walk me out. So we left the concert early, and that was the last time I've gone to a rock concert, because I cannot take some of the music that comes at me and I start having a physical response to it. So I don't even go to concerts and stuff anymore. Yeah, so that's that. I've got to go into work. I definitely plan on saying a whole lot more, because I got to get this off my chest. You know, I'm losing out here, whether it be out on sleep, whether it be out on relationship, whether it be out on life, because how do you deal with what you can see? You walk around here and you start seeing people for what they really are. You start seeing things and situations for what they are. It's heavy, because there are people who are starting to respond to it, and I'm starting to wonder, are they people or are they not? Are they agents or are they not? Who are they? That's all for now. May Tetragrammatron and Yeshua please bless us all. We need this help. Whatever's going on, this thing is stepping it up, and he is out there, and he's in full force, and he's coming after us all. Please, if you know of anybody going through this, please try to be understanding. Try to talk to them about it. This isn't easy. It's not easy to see things and know that you can't talk to the average person about it because you'll be labeled. It's not. Please, I'm asking you, just try to give that person an understanding, like an ear. Just give them an ear and a hug. Please, just give them an ear and a hug. That is all. God bless you all. Positivity and 888 strength and energy to you all, my beautiful brothers and sisters all around this glorious planet Earth. Thank you so much.